People today. Today is a special day. We are looking at finally, the Pear Mountain samples have come in. Now, when you're looking at samples from people, sometimes you already know which one you're going to pick just by how much tea is in the sample. So you can see here, there's that much tea. You can see here, oh, there's that much tea. You see here, there's that much tea. So you know what? I might be getting this one. So we'll see how it goes anyways. We'll see how it goes in any case. Now, why has it taken so long? Well, it's taken so long because honestly, I've been doing all sorts of different things. I've been traveling around. I've been doing all sorts of different stuff. And the Pear Mountain stuff was slow. So this is the, what do we got? We got the 18th, the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th. And these, it's slow. It's really, really, really slow. This year was really, 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 really slow. And I think also my buddy, I sent him a message. It's like, when's it coming? He's like, oh, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. And then I didn't want to bother him because I knew it was a stressful time. And then he just didn't send me the sample, so I sent him a message again. The other day, and he sent me the samples out. And so these are the 3 days. Now, with for Shanlin Shi, I got those samples in, and they were really, really good. I'm also doing this one. You can see this is Chilai. So we're doing the Chilai stuff as well today. So I'm just going to put it in there because it's grown like on the other side of the mountain. So, well, not really. It's over a valley and down a mountain and things like that. But the elevation is not exactly that far off. But anyways, let's go. Let's do this. I've been getting about 1.5 emails a day asking me, where's my Pear Mountain? Where's my Pear Mountain? Where is it? Where's my Pear Mountain? Where? So I've been getting about an email and a half a day from people. And so here we go. I'm going to be able to finally sample them here. And we'll be able to pick out which day we're going to get. And we'll see if one day has everything just perfect. One day has everything just perfect weather, perfect picking. Everything about it was just perfect. Okay, I'll get that. But who knows? Maybe we'll have some fun and do some tea blending. Who knows? Chilai Shan, you didn't source Chilai last year, did you? You're right. I did not source Chilai Shan last year at all. I didn't do it. And one of the reasons why was because I can't actually remember why I didn't last year. I don't think it was very good. So I don't think it was very good last year. Now, I've already sampled this once. I got this a day before this, so I sampled this once. And it's interesting. It's super creamy. But it doesn't stand up. Keeping going, it doesn't stand up all that much. But we're going to see how it goes. Maybe I will get it. Maybe I won't. I haven't decided yet what exactly I'm going to do. But putting it side by side with these will definitely help me out. Now, what makes Pear Mountain Lishan so special? What makes it so special? There's a couple things that make it so special. The biggest one simply being the amazingly intense area where it is grown. And it is grown in an amazingly intense environment. And this environment now, I've only really seen it when the environment is not too bad, when it's not too bad. Sometimes, you hear the stories about what happens up there during storms, and you hear the stories about what happens when it's super cold or when the snow comes or the ice, things like that. But I don't go up there during those time periods because it's so crazily intense. Like these roads, the roads are, my arms wide sometimes, right? And you're going there and there's no railing. And you're looking at like either a cliff or a tea field right here. You're driving along and you sort of look over and you're looking down like 500 meters. Like you're just like, whoa, And when you're up in these areas, you are in these places where the tea plant can grow, right? It grows, but it's right at the edge of what it should do. It's right at the edge, right? A little bit higher, and you're in big trouble. Right? A little bit higher, and it dies. Everything dies. Or the only thing you can get are like little tiny things if the frost doesn't get it, and then maybe some picks in the summertime if you're lucky. Right? So you pick the sweet spot. Right? So you go up the mountain, you go up the mountain, you go up the mountain, it dies. The plants die right here, or you don't get anything from them right here, and then you come right down here. Right? And so that's what you do. And that's where this area is, where these tea plants are. And I've talked about this before, and most people, anybody who knows anything about tea, who is good at what they do, will tell you the same thing. When it comes to tea, you're looking at a situation where you're trying to get teas that are stressed out. Right? You're trying to get teas that are stressed out, because the stressed out teas produce the most amount of flavor. If the tea is too comfortable, if the tea doesn't have something else going on, you're not getting the best tea. You're just not, right? You're not getting the best tea. Now, with the higher elevations, places like where these are grown, which is 1,800 to 2,000 meters above sea level, it is the rarefied air, the intense sun, the temperature differential between noon and midnight, right? All of these things, these plants are stressed out. When you're looking at the lower elevations, bug bites, right? So the bug bites are messing with the plant. Plants like screw you and releases various things that we perceive to be good tasting. So you're always looking at these various things. You're always looking at these various ways of creating stress in the plants that is creating a good tea. Now, why don't we get started with this stuff here? So we'll go in here. We'll look at the Chi Shan first. Now, what is Chi Shan? You're looking at this, usually a pretty nice creaminess to a Chi Shan. You're also looking at a sort of a tartness in the background, whereas the Li Shan stuff is a little bit more sweeter. The Chi Shan is a little bit more tart. And it's just the high mountainedness, right? It's just the high mountainedness. And so when you're looking at this stuff, it's just high mountain flavor. And the tartness there is there quite strongly. That sweet sourness. And it's okay. It's okay. Nothing particularly special. It's not knocking my socks off. It is a very, very good example of the Chi Shan cultivar. Of the Chi Shan terroir. And it's okay. And that's where we're going to stay. I'm going to put that in my mouth right now. I'm going to be like, okay. And now we go into the main course. All right. So we've got where I'm sort of starting. High mountain, sort of tartness. Nothing particularly special. Nothing particularly bad. This particular garden, they test it out. It's all safe. Usually they can pull off an ND, which means non-detected, although they are a conventional farm, but they very sparingly use the chemicals, but they do use agrochemical fertilizer at this farm. The Chi Shan basically is one big, huge company that does everything in Chi Shan. And as these companies go, it's not that bad. I've seen worse. But I think that's probably why I didn't buy it last year. I'm not the biggest fan of the big companies. And this year it's okay. And at an okay price. I might just get some for the 5 mountain sample set, because that's what I want to do. I'm just waiting on the Jade Mountain samples right now. The Shanlin Chi stuff is already in the shop. It's here. Okay, so first spring Pear Mountain of the year. This one is a little bit roasted, which means the weather was probably pretty crappy when this was made. I'm not getting blown away by this day. So chances are the weather was not very good for this day. So this day is the 19th. So this would be the last day of their processing. And it's been a little bit, roasting might be too strong a word. Roasting is too strong a word. But it's a little bit hong pei. The finishing touch up is a little bit high on this one, which means chances are the weather was bad, and so you put a little bit of a roast on it so that you get rid of the sort of the sourness that can come from too much moisture being in the leaves during the process. Now, smells okay. It's okay, but I'm hoping the other days are better. I'm hoping the other days are better. But we're just going to have to go and see. We're going to have to go and see. Here we go. Next day. Now, one thing that I do notice between these two, this is crisper, clear, smoother. Everything about this one is just, whereas this one, there's a little bit of a catch in there. There's a little bit of a, a little bit more of a chemically flavor. Already way better. So this one was a sunny day. This one, not a sunny day. Oh, this one's good. This one's good. Now, I think it's pretty fascinating. I might do that for the next subscription month, the next subscription box. I might try and get, a little bit of this day compared to this day and see if you guys can sort of understand what I'm talking about and the differences of the days. Because remember, this is the same garden, the same hands picking, the same processing in the exact same factory, just a day apart. And the weather absolutely makes a difference. The weather and the skill set, all right? The weather and the skill set of the people. And this day, which is the 17th, which makes sense, much nicer day, much smoother. The aftertaste is coming through. Just like basically everything about it is really nice. Everything about it. If this is it, if this one tastes bad, right? Remember, I've got 3 days here, 3 days of the Pear Mountain. If this day's not very good, then I'm fine with this one. I'm fine with this one. Okay. This one we can definitely get. No problems. Okay. Okay, so let's move to the last one. Now, this is the one, I've got my hopes up for this last one. And the reason I have my hopes up for this last one, remember, when I get to send the samples, right, you can see there, when I get sent the samples, usually the one that has the least amount of tea in it is usually the best one. Usually. But let's hope. Let's hope that this is just, this one's good. Everything about it is sort of the classic, beautiful, everything about it is the classicness, the beautifulness, the beautiful nature of this garden, the Pear Mountain garden. But let's try this one out. Let's see how this one's doing. See how this one's doing. And I'm hoping that this one is even better. Now looking at it, oh, there's lots of bug bites on these guys. I'll show you that in a minute. So let's see what happens with the aftertaste. But I think okay. Experiment time. Okay, so this guy's going away. Thank you, but you're not having it. Now with these two, this is quite fascinating because with these two, this one has some really rarefied flavors. It's got a sweetness to it. It's got some bug bites to it. But, and this is a pretty big but, it's got too many of the bad bug bites. Now, we can talk about this all the time. I've talked about this before, but there's good bug bites and there's bad bug bites. And the green leaf hopper is the good bug bites, and the thrip is the bad bug bites. And you don't want to mess around with the bad bug bites because they bring up too much bitterness. Now, the irony, of course, being that when you're looking at this stuff, right? When you're looking at this stuff, if there's thrip bug bites, then there's also greenleaf upper bug bites. But if there's too many thrips, then you got this sweet bitterness. If there's not enough bugs, then you're not getting the sweetness at all. So this one over here has got the bug bites, but I think it's got too many thrips. It's a little bit sort of a touch bittery on the tongue, but it's got some of that sweetness from bug bites. This one over here is just your classic day, right? It's the high mountain day. It's a sunny day. The weather's nice for this day. It's a beautiful tea. Nothing wrong with it at all. Just a classically good Pear Mountain. But this one has some really interesting flavors, right? Some really interesting flavors. So what I'm doing right now, I put half and half. So I already did this once this year with the Nanhu Mountain. Yeah, it's got some really interesting flavors. But in the background, it's got those thrip bites. Now, let's take a look at the thrip bites, because there's a really, really good leaf in here that showed us Thrip Bite Town. Now, oh, beautiful aftertaste. Sorry, doggy. Oh, there it is. There's this beautiful leaf that's just got the perfect, ouch. Now, when you're looking at the actual leaves, you should be able to tell the difference between, you should be able to see if there's thrip bites very, very easily. And the reason that you can tell there's thrip bites very, very easily is because the thrip bite, if you can imagine like a tiny little cigarette, and it goes to the leaf and goes, hey, Gareth, I hope you're having an awesome day yourself. Now, here, let's take a look. You should be able to see right through these, hopefully. Now, it's a little dark in here. Let's see, I'm holding it up. Can you see? Yeah, you should be able to see that, right? So, yeah, you should be able to see it. But there's holes in there, and they look like basically little cigarette burns. Like if you can imagine, like that's a thrip bite. And the thrip is not what you want. That's not the taste you want. The thrip is not the taste you want. And let's see if I can hold up a little piece of paper here so you can see it a little better. See the whiteness coming through. Yeah, you can sort of see it a little better here. But so you can sort of see, I can't really see. Anyways, whatever. Those are thrip bites here, right? So you can sort of see the thrip bites. If you've had enough tea, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. I remember years ago, there was a person that went on, I can't remember, like back when I went on and tried to engage people on social media. And they had a picture of this green tea. And they said, this green tea is very bitter. And all it was thrip bites on this leaf that they showed a picture of. And I just wrote back and said, that's organic, right? And they're like, yeah. And I said, well, it's too organic, for lack of a better way of describing it, right? The people there, usually when you get that many thrip bites, you're looking at a place that has a bunch of conventional farms all around it. And then in the center is the organic farm. So all the bugs come in here. And that's when you get that many thrip bites. And that's what happens. Sometimes that happens in this garden as well, because there's not really tea around it, but there's tea in various places. And sometimes that's what can happen, unfortunately. That's what can happen, unfortunately. But if there's thrips, then there's also the other bugs, right? And so you can get the honey fragrance stuff coming out as well. So here we go. Let's give it a try. So this is the two of them together. This is the two of them together right here. And so I'm hoping what I'm going to get with this is a brightness and a smoothness and a clearness, some of the interesting flavors from the thrip, this one, the thrip bitten one, but less bitterness in the back end. But here we go. Let's try it out. I don't think that worked. I don't think that worked. Let's go back to these guys. Oh, beautiful aftertaste. Ah, Pear Mountain aftertaste. And it's nice. I've been drinking a lot of Alishans, a lot of Shanlin cheese. I haven't had the Pear Mountain for a long time, the Lishan, for a long time. And the clarity of the flavors are just so beautiful. Like, Shanlin cheese is muddy. Alishan is in the middle. But this one is just, like just hitting the notes perfectly. Such clarity. Spring Pear Mountain. I think I might just have to get number 17. I think I just might have to get number 17. Let's go back over here. Maybe the second steep on this one will be a little bit better. It's softer, lighter, smoother. Gosh darned it. I like both of them. Putting them together, it's okay. And now we get into perfectionist time. Now, what does that mean? If I buy this one, no one's going to complain. If I buy this one, no one's going to complain. If I buy them and put them together, I think you can guess what I'm going to say. Probably no one's going to complain. But I want to get the best possible taste. I really do. So what's happening is this one with the thrip bites, the first, it's got the bitterness. Okay, so it's got the bitterness. The second steep, all of that is gone. It's been washed away. It's been cooked. And so what you're getting is a little bit more of a sweetness, a little bit more of a flowingness to it. Lightness of being. Not to say this isn't light. And a gorgeous aftertaste. This one over here is perhaps oxidized a little bit higher, a little bit more vegetal. More strength in the mid-mouth, not quite as light and flowing. And the aftertaste isn't quite as good, kind of, sort of. It's a little bit different, a little bit heavier. But there's no edges to it. This one has an edge in the first steep. All right, let's go back over here. Let's go back over here. Let's see what's going to happen with the mix between the two. Actually, I think I'm going to mix them up. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Although I'm going to have to do the second steep on this and make sure that it doesn't get bitter. Maybe I'll do like 3 to 1. I'm going to have to still experiment with this, but I think I should probably do like 3 to 1 or 2 to 1. So like 2 of this and 1 of this. Because the thrip bites, sort of in the first steep there, they do. It gives a roughness. It gives a touch of a bitterness, not quite the smoothness and the smooth feel that I really want out of these teas. But putting them together, you get the best of both worlds. You really do. You get the best of both worlds when you put them together. First steep on this one, way better. Second steep on this one, way better. Well, way. Come on. It's actually not that different. Now, let's go back to this. Now, I'm going to go back to this tea while I'm waiting for these other guys to brew a little bit more. And I guess I got no more water. That's okay. The difference between sort of the cleaner grown teas and the teas that are grown with a little bit more agrochemical, dirtier teas, for lack of a better way of describing it, is as you go through the steeps, there can be some really strong flavors that come in and out. Now, when you're looking at these clean teas, they're just clean. And the clarity of the teas and the flavors that come through in the teas are very consistent, and you're not getting new flavors. So, for example, the flavors at the start and the flavors at the back and the further steeps are the same, but as you go through the steeps, one is big here, one is small, and then they go like this, right? Or they go, like this, or something like that. The flavors, they don't really change that much. But when you're looking at the teas that are using crutches, right? So the agrochemicals, when you're using the crutch-like teas, the flavors that you get, the first steep, you're going to get one flavor. The second steep, you're going to get another flavor. The third steep, you're going to get another flavor. And generally speaking, at least one of those flavors is not particularly nice. And that's, with the first steep of this tea, there's a beautiful creaminess. And then it's gone by the second steep. There is the sort of that background tartness that is the terroir, this area. By the third steep, it's kind of gone. And then there's just more sort of vegetal, sweet, and then the further you go, the more likely you are to hit some of the really, the not so good flavors. Now, the fans of the Chilishan terroir, cultivar, and all those things, nothing wrong with this tea. There's nothing wrong with it. It's okay. It's got the creaminess. It's got the flavors of the terroir. Everything about it is just about right. It's just about right. Right? It's what it should be for this tea. It's what it should be for these things. But I really am a perfectionist when it comes to these teas. These ones, I think they're just better. These ones are just better. These ones, they just feel cleaner, less muddy, less complicated. I always come back to the same sort of idea, it's just clarity. These teas are clear. They are clear. Right? I'm leaning towards this. I'm leaning towards just getting the first day, just getting the 17. All right, let's see. Here's a second steep of putting them together, and let's see what happens. Good luck. Excuse me. Went down the wrong pipe there. Hey, Cindy, it's really interesting to see your tasting comparison process. Is Pear Mountain the same as Lishan? So much to learn. Yes. So Lishan literally means Pear Mountain. And so I use it interchangeably, Pear Mountain and Lishan. Sorry, went down the wrong pipe. There. Um, Now this is the one that I sort of put off to the side at the very start, right? I just put it off to the side, and I just let it sit there. I'm going to go back to it and see what happens here. Yes, okay, I'm right. I'm right to put it away in the sense that it was bad weather. I can taste the bad weather. There's a catch. There's a vegetal without the lightness and things like that. Um, Now, I was sitting talking with Wang Yo Li, which is the guy who does the Old Master Bao Song. And this year for the Bao Song, the weather wasn't very good. Now he does little bits of tea like every day for like a month and a half. Um, but he was saying to me, like when the weather's bad, you can't which means the front half of the flavor profile you can't really control because the weather's not good. You have to focus on the back. And that's what he did this year. In the back, everything about the Old Master Bao Song is made by Master. Although the front is not quite as florally sweet, creamy as it has been in the past, just because the weather wasn't that good. But it's a beautiful tea. It's amazing tea. And the only way you know that is if you bought it every year and remembered those things every year. But when I'm drinking this tea, that's exactly what happened. The front end is a deeper, earthy vegetal. It doesn't work out that well. Then in the background, as you go through it, as you go deeper into the tea, the aftertaste is gorgeous because there's a master making it. Right? There's not much you can do when the weather's not good. How do you feel Dayuling and Fushoshan compared to Lishan? I mean, they're all kind of in the same general area. I've talked about this before. Dayuling is now nothing but a marketing ploy. I've been to the Dayuling garden many times. Well, not many times, maybe 4 or 5 times. And it's literally a stone's throw away from sort of another area that's called Lishan, which is another stone's throw away from Fushoshan and all of these different types of things. I'm sure the weather and the changes and all the various things about the different mountains or different names for mountains will impact the taste of the tea. So maybe one year the Dayuling will be a little bit better than the Lishan, which will be a little bit better than the Fushoshan, or whatever, right? But large changes and differences between them, like this garden is on sort of I want to say Ganko. It's not Ganko. Anyways, there's a place that sort of there's the Dayuling is here, and then you drive here, and then you drive up the mountain, and Fushoshan is here, and then you keep driving, and then Lishan is like over here, and this is over here. So they're all like, as the crow flies, they're all very, very, very close. There are slight differences in the soil. There's slight differences in which is looking at which sun, which is facing which. All these different types of slight differences. Each year will be different, but the price premium for something that's labeled Dayuling and the price premium that's for something that's labeled Fushoshan, to me, is not worth it. Because I only know, no. Who made it? Who's the tea master? How clean is it? All those different types of things, like the why. Okay, last rant. Why Dayuling is so famous is because it used to go up to like 2,500 meters. There was all these illegal tea gardens, and I've driven along that road, and I've actually walked down into the gardens, and they're all like this high. They've all been buzzed back, and you can see little new growth come up, and you go and you can pick those new growth and just sort of eat them. Amazing. They are amazing. Amazing. The view, everything about it is beautiful. But you have to drive about an hour through this stuff before you get to the place that is now called Dayuling. It's not special. The place that's now called Dayuling, like 97 kilometer, whatever. All the really good gardens were at like 130, like kilometer 130. And it doesn't seem like a long distance in the mountains. That's a really long distance and much higher. And you drive down and down and down and down through where all the other gardens were. And so other stuff that's actually called Dayuling has nothing to do with the legendary gardens from before. Has nothing to do with the legendary gardens from before. They're on the same road, but they're 10 kilometers away. And so what you're getting is this this echo of what was in the past, this echo. And I have no doubt that before it was just amazing. It was before my time. I was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, before my time. But I'm sure those gardens produce amazing teas, just legendary, amazing teas, because they're so much higher than basically everywhere else. But not anymore. Not anymore. And what I should do is I should sit down with teas from all the different gardens, sort of all around the same place, and really sit down and be like, okay, what's the deal? I will say this though. I don't think I've ever had an authentic Fushoshan because it's a mienzi tea, it's a face tea, so it's booked out like years in advance, and you can only get it if you really know somebody, and blah blah blah. But I've seen the garden, and the garden is really really well taken care of, like really really well taken care of. It's not as clean as I would like it to be, but it's the people who take care of that garden and make that tea, I'm sure, are some of the best tea masters in the world. So if you can get your hands on some really decent Fushoshan or like authentic Fushoshan, it'd be worth it. It'd be worth it. It'd be better than this. It would be better than this. How much better? I don't know. Right? I haven't actually had sort of I've had lots of teas that's called Fushoshan, but I haven't had it actually from the specific packaging that I know 100% that it is Fushoshan. That's actually something I should do this year, is just find one of those. I should. Just because it's, I should. I should know it. I should have it. I should have be able to say that I've really tried it. But like I said, I'm not really into the sort of the face teas, the mienzi teas. You know, going up to Dialing Proper and sitting at the side of the road and saying, "Can you give me some of your tea? You know, here's your garden," drinking it, going, "This is it," sort of a thing. It's like, okay, okay. It's amazing to me what you can identify in tasting the tea. Well, it takes years and years of tea gambling to be able to get to the level of. I laugh about it. Professional tea tasting. Professional, I guess it is. I'm a professional gambler. So professional tea gambler. But yeah, I think I'm just going to get the 17. The 17 is going to be the day because it's just the classic springtime tea, just the classic all around Pear Mountain springtime tea, which is nice. Yeah, beautiful aftertaste, sweet, upfront, smooth vegetal. Everything about it is just great. I'm getting it. All right, so last chance for some questions. If there's any questions about anything. This was live on Facebook and on Facebook and on YouTube as well. So if you want to listen back to it, you go jump over to Facebook and the YouTube. But if you've already made it this far, you probably be like, "Oh, okay, never mind that." But yeah. So I'm going to order this. This will be on the site in the next couple of weeks. I know that some people have already wanted it and ordered it. If anybody wants a large amount of this tea, then let me know now so I can get it in a large order. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Last call for questions for any of this stuff today. The Shanlin Shi is in the shop. I got to package it up and do all the stuff. So the spring Shanlin Shi will be going out. I got to get on the Jade Mountain fellow to get some Jade Mountain samples in. I asked for them a week ago. I got to ask again. So there should be Jade, Shanlin Shi, Ali Shan, Pear Mountain, Jade, Shanlin Shi. Well, hopefully Jade, Shanlin Shi, Pear Mountain, Ali Shan. Trying to think what else is there. And I should probably just get some of this just because, it's Jilai Shan. But I want to do the 5 mountain sample set. You you guys can try out. So you can sit down and be like, okay, what do the mountains taste like? What's the difference between the mountains? Because I mean that's kind of fun. The differences are quite subtle, but it's really quite a lot of fun. Okay, so that's it. Oh, I heard that buttermilk oolong. I had that buttermilk oolong for the first time yesterday. Very satisfying. Looking forward to more spring teas. The buttermilk oolong is the best value tea on the site right now. Actually, I got in a bunch more samples from the same guy, and they were all good, but they're all sort of on the same style of tea. But we cultivar the same style of tea, but like a same style of tea, but using the Treyu, the number 13 cultivar, and I still got a bunch of the, even though people are buying, like wholesale clients are buying lots of it, I still got a bunch of the the buttermilk oolong left. So actually, I might have to get some more now that I'm thinking about it. Springtime. Excuse me. I might have to do a deep dive into these and get a little bit more. The number 13 is actually really good, and basically it's the same as the buttermilk. But I have to get into those samples because I'm probably gonna have to buy some more. Anyways, I don't even know. I'm just bumbling along. Anyways, the point is just that yes, the buttermilk oolong is an extremely good tea, and for the value, it's amazing. It's amazing, right? That particular harvest, I bought everything that he had, and I just said, "Give it to me all." He's like, "What?" I'm like, give me everything, and he sort of went, "What? Ah, really? Can I save like a couple kilograms for myself?" Like that. It was pretty funny. Would love some Shanlin the 5 mounted would be very fun. Yes, so the Shanlin this year is really nice. It's really nice. And the organic Alishan is also really, really, really good. But yeah, the 5 mountain sample set, I'll get that up. I'll just buy some of the Chilai Shan, just as basically, some people are fans of the cultivar. Or sorry, not the cultivar, the terroir. But I'll get some, why not? It's not too expensive. Anyways, I gotta go. Gotta go send some packages. As always, thank you everybody who has bought some tea. Thank you so much. You literally feed my family, my children. It goes from the tea into prismed out into some meat and vegetables, and then into their mouths, and so I appreciate it very much. And wherever you are in the world, I certainly hope you have a spectacular morning, evening, night, day, all that stuff. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next live stream.